Hello and a warm welcome. My name is Benedikt Zillner and today I would like to introduce you to our new attachment designer. This new module you can find in our dental software. The attachment designer you can use for the design of attachments in the CPIL software. With the designer you can import the models before the measurement, and you can use the individual attachment as a matching method for the upper jaw. The attachment designer workflow is quite simple. At first we import the scans, we mark the incisal point on the scan, we mark the attachment area and positioning the adapter. As optional steps we have the placing of holes and the placing of labels. A great feature is the use of the attachment as a matching method for the upper jaw. To do this, we calculate back from the sensor via the attachment to the lower jaw. The information from the scan can then be used to determine the position of the upper jaw. To select the attachment as a method for the matching of the upper jaw, simply start after the design the functional digital occlusion and select there your designed attachment. Now I want to present you the workflow of the attachment designer. After the creation of the patient, go to the measurement tab and select the attachment designer and press on start. First we have to import the scan data of the patient. First the upper jaw, then the lower jaw. First, mark the incisal point on the lower jaw of your patient. Now we have to align the lower jaw according to the middle line of the screen. Before the design starts, you can check here if you have imported the right scans. Now we have several tools available to mark the outline of our attachment. We have here first the brush, which we can mark area when we press the Shift key, and to erase the area we press the Control key. Besides this brush here, we have the contour, where we can now mark points to mark the area of our attachment. And with the the Control key pressed, we can erase this area. The last tool we have is, we call it cylinder. With the cylinder, it's like the brush, but with this tool we can not only mark the visible side of our scan, but also the not visible side. This can be really helpful to erase an area of your marks where are difficult to reach. And now we can start to mark our design. If you want to change the diameter of your pencil, now you can use the slider here, or if you press the Shift or Control key, you can use your mouse wheel. So now we start with the design. I will mark here the area on the teeth of our patient. I really like to use the gingiva of the scan to support the attachment in the mouth of the patient. To check if we have intersections with the upper jaw, we always have the possibility to make the upper jaw visible over the eye symbol. And here we can see that we would have intersections, and now I will remove it according to the position of the upper jaw. And when we are fine with the outline of our attachment, we can go on. In this step, now we can place the adapter of our attachment. We have two adapters available. We have this smaller one here and a bigger one. Also, we can set the thickness of our attachment, and we can see possible intersections with the upper jaw. These are marked with blue color here on the screen. And when we hide the upper tooth, we can see it here on the attachment itself. We have now two ways to handle these intersections. One way is to simply say we go one step back to fix it, to erase the outline a bit where we would have these intersections, and go back. And if they are still there, we have also the possibility to simply say, yeah, let's make a subsection of the upper jaw in on these points. We also have the possibility to now place the adapter of our attachment. It does not matter where the adapter specifically is placed, so it's also possible to place it on the side like this, but we recommend to place it here in the middle and a bit up, like this. And now we have here an optional step in the workflow. Here we can now place holes into the attachment with the Shift key pressed. These holes can be used to inject some material through the attachment on the teeth of our patient to fix the attachment on the teeth, like a silicone or other materials. The diameter and the hole of the holes, the angle can be adjusted through these sliders here. To identify the attachment after the printing, we have the possibility to label our attachments with a text. You can type in here, and you can place it on the attachment when you press the Shift key. Press your mouse and drag it over the surface. The height of this text can be set through this slider here on the right. To identify the attachment also by his file name, we can give it here also a name. Like the tutorial attachment. And if we want, we can give it a specific color inside our Zebra software, like a nice green color here. And so we are done with the design of our attachment. We can now create directly an additional attachment for this patient over this plus symbol. We can erase this attachment, and here over this button we of course can export these attachments for different file types. To save the attachment, we simply click on Next, and we can go on. When the printing is done, our patient is back in the chair. We fixed the attachment to the teeth of the lower jaw. To select the attachment for the measuring of the upper jaw position, we simply select the module Functional Digital Occlusion on this patient, press on Start, and there we find as a method for the upper jaw positioning the attachment listed, which we can now select and start our measurement. Now I want to show you a special case. In this case, you see there are the front teeth left. So for the incisal point, we simply can mark here, now on the gingiva, our point. and align it here again. Now here we can simply mark as we know our attachment with the pencil, use the gingiva for support, as we know. Of course, we can now use these teeth for a good clamp of the attachment on the teeth. But now we normally would have to place the adapter of our attachment near the gingiva flash. This is way too deep for our measuring. And so we added a bridge tool in our software. We select it here and now mark 2 points on our design to create a bridge between these 2 points. We can adjust the position of this bridge and we can place now the adapter on this bridge so we have a good height for our attachment for our measuring. The steps from this point are totally the same with a normal patient. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope the steps were easy to follow and will help you to measure your patients even more easily. If you have any questions, please contact your local dealer. And with that, I hope you continue to have fun measuring. Until next time.